Whyte's goal, I think, really, when it comes to designing a bike, is to try and add performance to it. If you've added enough performance in the right areas, the bike should instill that confidence into the rider. And if you can achieve that, then you have a successful bike design. So I'm Ian Alexander, and I'm the Chief Designer here at Whyte. A good example of a piece of first principle thinking is when we've moved from an MTB design into an EMTB design. So when you have that transition to make, there's obviously a very significant amount of weight which gets added to the bike. So rather than just simply follow a set of prescriptive design parameters set for us by other companies or other component suppliers, we'll stop, take a clear look at what we want to do, what we want to achieve through that lens of adding performance to the bike. Where would we want to put those additional major masses in an ideal situation? Getting the major masses packaged where we wanted them to deliver that better riding bike. Having a lower centre of gravity just makes the bike calmer, much more predictable, more neutral for the rider. The rider can just remain totally focused on riding the bike. And that always liberates much more confidence, and confidence is absolutely vital, key to having a good ride. There's no real substitute for testing. It's a bit like the old racers' mantra of, the harder I train, the luckier I get. The more testing you do, ultimately the better the bike is.
When I'm testing, I generally might ride the same track 100 times, because that's one variable that you kind of want to try and keep consistent. I'm Sam Smith, and I'm head of mountain bike design. Telemetry, data acquisition on suspension is really important. So once you kind of got the bike set up as well as it can possibly be, then it's making the assessment of, is the bike doing what it needs to do at that point? Is it good enough? Is it balanced and composed and confidence inspiring and enjoyable to ride? Is there something going on that's not quite right? It's not, it's working out what needs to be changed. And then from there you've got a base to make some informed decisions on.
So if you're developing bikes in the UK, you have to have that focus on quality and durability, because the terrain that the bikes get ridden in and used in is very tough, very harsh. As a result, developing a bike with that methodology in the UK, those two things always come together to make a bike that will really work anywhere in the world. We just go the extra mile to try and extend and prolong the life of a component, whether it's something simple like a charge port cover, the seat clamp collar of the frame, internal cable routing, the lifetime warranty bearings. And that's really the best form of design and development, where you can extend the life of something through good design and you're not having to just constantly change and service and repair. You've got the testing for the parts that we are responsible for designing, so the frame set. There are certain international standards that's laid down for that, which is relatively hard to pass, but it's not the most severe testing that we do.
E-bikes are no longer just bikes, they're modes of transport, they're safety, they've got to be used on the road in conjunction with other people. Every frame will have an effective lifespan of tests. It might have 10 years worth of vibrations put through it, rolling roads, cobbled stones. You need to have forks, tyres, rims that are all certified to meet the same level that you've tested your frame to. Hi, my name is Clayton and I'm responsible for compliance and safety. Factory tests are not enough. We take our frames and we third-party test them in Europe. And they're not just standard tests. We try to make them as dynamic as possible. So much more intense and real-world based. It pushes them to another level.
And there's no magic to it. You have to go out and do the miles. The bikes have to be ridden, and they have to be ridden hard.
Racing helps push the development to the next level. The process of actually racing it, which kind of verifies whether what you got is as good as you thought or not.
The main goal is to deliver that extraordinary ride experience. I'm Ben Irwin and I'm the mountain bike product manager. The R&D team can do all of the work behind the scenes to create the best possible frame package. It's then my job to be able to take that frame package, pair it with the right parts specification across all levels to ensure that that ride feel, that quality in the frame is carried through across the whole bike, and to be able to marry that into the perfect parts value specification combo.
We're always in a competition to try and keep up with the riding and give the rider the bike which will be equal to the terrain they're going to be riding on. And if you can design a bike with as much performance as possible for as much value for money as possible, then you're going to be very competitive, and that's really the goal of Whyte's product design. Get those bikes designed with as much performance as possible for the customer and make it attainable.